And now, News 10 Today continues.
Welcome back. Thanks for watching. We're visiting with Curtis Calder Elko, City Manager, about city issues. And Curtis, with the better weather that we're promised into this weekend, I guess it's the time the police are going out notifying homeless folks living along the river they have to move their camps.
Yeah, that started this week, and we're making contact with those that haven't relocated off of city property. So we're going to give everyone a chance to comply, and give them 7 days, and hopefully they do that. They're not required to go to our campground by any means, but they are required to get off of the city property where they're illegally camping. So talked to Fish earlier this week. 11 folks have registered at the campsite, even though there's only about 6 or 7 tents. There's 11 spots that are reserved, so we believe that there's probably another 10 to 15 camps that could come in there just to take care of the camps on city property. And then we've reached out to Union Pacific as well, because I know some of those tents are located on their property and their right-of-way, and so we would need to get permission from the railroad to go on there and notify those people. So we're waiting to hear back from Union Pacific to see if they want to do it themselves, or if they'd like our city police department to do it. We've offered that up.
All right, so once they're notified, it's about a 7-day grace period, and that's it. And so within a month or so, we should not see any more tents along the Humboldt River?
Yeah, I think it'll be even sooner than a month. I would assume within the next couple of weeks, at least on city property, there will be no remaining illegal campers. Once those campers have moved out of there, our Parks Department is working on ideas to get those areas cleaned up. They are quite messy.
There's some piles and piles of trash.
We need to get those cleaned up and get in compliance with NDEP as well. It is city property, so we'd certainly like to work with some of the homeless advocacy groups to see if they'd be interested in forming work parties along with city staff to try to get those areas cleaned up and restored back to what they were prior to the illegal camping. And we're just going to keep working through the process and see how it works.
Okay. Another topic, a spike in crime, 120 property crimes, mostly burglaries, and that's just within the city of Elko in about the last month, Curtis. And I know you've had meetings with the police chief. I mean, are we adequately staffing, or what's the problem?
Yeah, I think we're adequately staffed to work on this. I think, trying to get some of those issues in the downtown resolved frees up some of our police personnel to work on other issues. So I think the action the council took a week or so ago with regard to the horseshoe liquor license was appropriate, and that will help going forward. It takes a long time to recruit police personnel, but we are nearing the point of being fully staffed, getting folks out of the academy, etc. So we'll be at full staffing coming into summer, and with the change in our shift scheduling and all of that, the deployment's a lot better. So we should be out and about, and we always do see increases in this type of crime when the weather warms up. So this isn't uncommon, but based on what I'm hearing from our police department is that we're seeing arrests of the same people over and over again for these types of crimes, which is unfortunate. But I guess that's all we can do, because we don't necessarily control the court system and the subsequent steps in that process. So,
well, the taxpayers do control the court system, Curtis, and they can certainly let their concerns be known. We have a brand new jail, which county includes city taxpayers have funded, so we have an expansion of the jail. There's an average population of 130 inmates. If the people arrested aren't being charged and they're simply being released from jail with a court appearance at a future date, then of course they feel like they're getting off scot-free, and they'll just go out and keep committing these crimes against the citizens, the property taxpayers, and everybody else who lives here and visits here.
Yeah, and I think one of the key points is a lot of these folks that are committing the property crimes are also involved in drugs too. So a lot of these property crimes are being driven by drug use, and that's an issue too in and of itself. So I know it's a challenge for our police department, and they're working hard doing what they can, but I think it takes more than just the city police to resolve this issue.
Thanks for watching.